daily walk around check and visual inspection of the 202 sweeper. Working our way around from the front of the cab. First of all, best to take your keys out of the ignition so nobody can start the vehicle when you're doing any maintenance or any checks around the vehicle. So always take the keys and put them in your pocket. So what we're going to do, we start from the front of the cab at the top. So check that your indicators and beacons are secure, which are on the top here. You've got working lamps which can be adjusted, so they just pull down and adjust as you want them. We've also got the mirror, the top mirror that sits underneath. So again, check that that's in the correct position, check that it's secure. And then we're just going to do a quick inspection of the windscreen, make sure that there's no chips or cracks. Got your windscreen wipers, again, check that there's nothing, no grit, no stone. The actual wiper blade. We do recommend when you're doing this that you are wearing gloves as well, just to prevent you getting dirt around the vehicle. So it's best to have a colleague to assist with the light checks, but we're just going to check there's no obvious signs of damage. And then working our way down, we've got the number plate. Always check that the number plate is secure, and always check that the number plate is correct for the vehicle. Working our way down to the brushes, check that the brushes are on correctly. First check around the machine as well, we can see we've got hydraulic hoses, we've got water lines. We're just looking for any obvious leaks or defects. So hydraulic hoses, water lines, check for any chafing, check for any leaks around the vehicle, check that they're secure in the slot they're supposed to go into. Check your brushes, check that they're secure. So you've got quick change brush slot. Make sure the bolt is in the back of the slot to prevent vibration and prevent it from potentially falling off when you're sweeping. Check the minimum bristle length on the brushes, roughly a hand width or 100mm. Check the warning stickers are in place and in good condition. They are at the front of the manual and they should be replaced when worn or if they've peeled off. As we're going around the vehicle, we also want to check before you take it out that the water nozzles on the front brushes are actually working. If the nozzles are blocked, just get a spanner, unscrew it and clean them from the inside, best with an air line, or you can use a paper clip or a nozzle jet cleaning kit. The side of the cab, we start from the top again. Check the condition of the glass, check the condition of the mirror, check the adjustment of the mirror, check the door is secure and opens and closes, and then we just check for the condition of the glass lower down on the cab. Check the caster wheels on the suction box, check that they actually do spin. There's a greasing point down here as well. And then we also need to check the condition of the rubber underneath the box and make sure that it's not worn out. Tyres, we're looking for 90 psi at the front, and then we're looking for 83.5 psi on the rear tyre. Condition of the sidewall, general condition of the tyre, wheel nut indicators in line. To check the condition of the wunder hose because it's live all the time when we're sweeping. So you're looking for any splits, any defects within the actual suction hose itself. If you've got any splits, you're going to lose a slight amount of suction out of the vehicle. Check this not seized. Tools on the roof, make sure they're secure. Inspection of the suction fan, that should be on a weekly basis. Make sure that the plate is secure and in position. Inside the side access door, visual check of your pressure washer gun. Any obvious signs of damage, and then we're checking for any chafing, any damage on the pressure wash hose as well. We've got auto lube module, we're looking for any leaks, any defects, and we're also looking at the minimum level as well. So if it's below the minimum level, we just make sure that we top up the module. And we've got the AdBlue as well. Make sure that the cap is secure before you drive the vehicle. Before you drive the vehicle off, make sure that the side access door is secure as well. First of all, you've got safety stickers on the side. Again, make sure the sticker's in place. If it's worn or if it's peeling off, they are in the front of the manual, so refer to the manual and get a new set ordered. Just going to check the condition of the gas strut. So when we lift the back of the hopper lid, the lid should stay in place, the strut should hold it in place. You're looking that they're secure and it's not flapping around. So as long as it's secure and holding when you lift the back up, the struts are sound. In the rear left side access panel, check that the battery terminal covers are in place. Make sure that the diesel cap is secure. Make sure the general condition of the battery is acceptable. Make sure there's no dirt coating it, etc. Before setting off, check that the water valve drain is in the closed position. So working our way around the rear of the vehicle, we check that the rear discharge deflector is in place. We check that the chapter 8 markings are in place, the red and yellow markings. Check that they're not peeling off. We've also got a rear arrow board. You should be using a sign cover when you're transiting in the vehicle to keep within the law. Checking the number plates, checking again that the number plate is correct, and checking that it's secure to the vehicle, to be visible and clean. Got the rear lights as well, so you've got your number plate lights, you've got your flashing beacons, reversing lamps, driving lights at the rear of the vehicle. We're also checking that the rear panel is clean, and then we want to lift the panel, and then we've got access to our coolant reservoir, and we've got access to the air filter. The radiator and the air conditioning radiator, we just want to make sure that that's clean. Check the general condition of the blades, check that they're not damaged. If they are damaged too much, it will cause overheating around the vehicle. Close the cover, and then we want to check the condition of the rear access step. The maximum weight of the step is 120 kilograms. We want to make sure the step is locked in place at both sides. And we can test the step and use it to check that everything is secure and clean on the top of the vehicle. The step should neatly fold away. And some machines have parking sensors on the rear of the vehicle, so make sure that they're not damaged, make sure that they're secure. Hydraulic level indicator. So what we're checking, we've got 3 sight windows. We're checking that you've got hydraulic oil in the bottom one, hydraulic oil in the middle, and we're looking for this to be about a third full on the top window. And we want to do this on flat, solid ground with the hopper closed. Check that the air filter inlet is clear. Often fills up with items such as leaves, so all you need to do, pull out or get a brush to scrape it clean. On the rear right side of the vehicle, inside the access panel, we've got the vehicle hydraulic driveline reservoir, which is a completely separate unit to the sweeping hydraulics which we've just looked at. We're checking this on level ground, and the fluid is above the minimum level marker in the tank. If the fluid is below the minimum level marker, when you go up or down a hill, the vehicle might cut out because you haven't got sufficient hydraulics to power the driveline. Moving down, just a quick visual check, make sure that all the pipes and all the cables are secure and no obvious damage or defects. We've got a second water drain off point for the clean water, and we're going to make sure that that's in the closed position before we drive off. Again, we've got the hydrant filling point, and so this is to fill the recirculating water inside the machine. So all we're looking, before you drive off, make sure that that's secure, and make sure that the wonder hose is secure inside its slot on this side of the vehicle. If you want to, you can drop the beacon. Otherwise, make sure that the beacon's in the raised position. Inside the front right access panel, we're also checking that the clean water filler cap is in position, not loose. Make sure that's secure. Any tools, hydrant gear, make sure that it's secure inside the vehicle. Check the rubber underneath the suction box, check that it's not worn away too much. We're just going to check that the caster wheels are running free. Now we've lifted the hopper up, so you'll see that we've engaged the hopper props fully. So we want to make sure whenever we're doing any maintenance underneath the body, you check that the red hopper props are fully engaged so that the hopper can't drop when you're inspecting underneath the vehicle body and the chassis. Always recommend bump cap, and when we get into the back of the hopper, recommend the use of safety glasses as well. Check that the inlet is clear into the hopper, so make sure there's no blockages or dirt inside there. We want to make sure that the sweeping system is as clean as we can before we start sweeping. So quick check down the suction tube, make sure there's nothing blocked in there. If there is, something like a garden hoe is generally quite good. Just push it down and it should drop out at the bottom of the suction box. Really important to make sure that the back of the hopper is clean. And as we can see at the top, we've got the leaf screen filters. It's really important to make sure that there's nothing stuck like leaves or mud inside there, because it will prevent the airflow through the vehicle and it will reduce your suction power. To the back of the hopper, we've also got our fan screens. You want to make sure they're clear of debris because it will prevent airflow through the machine and you'll reduce the suction power. We're also checking inside the machine. It's equipped with a water recirculation system. We need to make sure that the screens inside the hopper are clean and clear and the water can flow through them. We need to make sure sludge drainage channels are cleaned out, preferably with a pressure washer. So make sure that the seals are undamaged. When we drop the lid, make sure that they secure. So they're the sludge drainage channel seals, and you're also looking for the general seal around the hopper. Check it for wear on a regular basis. Again, if that's worn away or perished or non-existent at all, you will lose suction around the vehicle. We'll look at the engine oil. So you've got your dipstick. Make sure that the engine's been switched off, ideally for 10 minutes or so. Lint-free cloth is the best to check this with, or you can use your gloves. So back into the dipstick, and we're going to check that the oil is between the maximum and minimum level markers. If you do need to top it up, filler cap is on the top of the engine. For visual check, we're looking at the general condition of the fan belt, which we can see through the back here. And for easier access to the coolant reservoir, you can do that with the hopper lifted as well. Working our way round to the front, optional extra, we've got the detergent bottle for the pressure washer. We've got the brake fluid reservoir, which will be present in all machines, so it's really essential to check that on a daily basis. You've got a maximum and minimal level indicator on the side. So we've got the hopper blanking plate. This is used for the wonder hose on the roof. So in the closed position, that shuts off suction to the actual suction box down underneath the machine. So all the suction power will be directed to the wonder hose on the top of the vehicle. For general sweeping, make sure this is in the open position and make sure that it holds in the position you need it to as well on the spring at the side. So finally, it's really important to check the condition of the water recirculation system. So it's absolutely essential to how these machines operate. So we've got the recirculating water tank, which sits in the middle of the chassis. You've got a water pump inside that tank, a hose, and then the water flow is pumped through the hose into the bottom of the suction box at the side, at the top of the suction box, and that prevents the escape of dust. Inside the water tank, this should be kept as clean as absolutely possible. There we can lift the water pump slightly to get better access. At the back right-hand side of the tank, we've also got a float level sensor, so it's really important that there's no dirt sat on there or drying out to prevent that from operating correctly. We've got the secondary water filters, or some people just call them baskets, so we're checking that these are completely clear, there's no leaves, there's no mud sat on the top of them, and what that does, it allows the water to drain through from the valves inside the hopper, so the water can freely recirculate its way through the system.